Hello, Chris from My Stamp Lady here, and I'm going to share with you this card I made with the seasonally scattered stamp set, and that's this image here and how I got the two colors on this image. And then also check out this background with the hardwood background stamp. Such a fun stamp to work with. So let's get started. To start with, I'll start with my focal image, and here is my stamp from the seasonally scattered, and it's the thanks image. So I'm going to ink it up in crushed curry, which is my lighter color. In this technique, you want to start with the lighter color. I'm going to pull in my Cajun Craze, and I have a sponge dauber, and I'm just adding the Cajun Craze ink just in the areas that I want it, so around the thanks. Now the ink does stay wet for a while, but you may want to give it that breath just to kind of get it wet. So I have my piece of vanilla cardstock, the Very Vanilla, and let's stamp that. And there you go. That's how you get that two-tone look with the sponge dauber and doing the lighter color first. Now, I decided to mount this onto the crushed curry background, but just a little bit off, so just to give it a little interest there. And there's that piece. We'll set that aside. Okay, now I'm going to work on that hardwood piece. So I'm pulling in my background stamp, which is the hardwood. I'm going to take my 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of cardstock, and I used the embossing buddy on it because we're going to be embossing. Let's ink up the image or the stamp with Versamark because I'm going to be doing some embossing with the clear powder, and putting that down, face down, onto that background stamp, putting over a scrap paper, and in this case it's an envelope. I had a box of these large envelopes I had accidentally purchased and didn't need, so I'm using them for my background stamps. Okay, so then when I pull that off, I now have the image on there, and it's a little difficult to see because it is just Versamarked. So let's pull in my clear powder. We'll cover the entire image with clear powder. I'm going to have to probably do this in a couple of, because it's such a large piece. There we go. Now let's get the other side. Now be careful, the places that I'm tapping, it does actually kind of brush off. So I'm going to re-get those. Okay, and I'll dump that back into my bin. And then we heat set. Okay, so heat setting that large of an area does take some time, but the results are amazing. So this is my crumb cake hardwood piece. I'm going to take in the crumb cake ink and another sponge dauber. I'm going to go around the edge, and I'm adding just a bit of crumb cake to give it some depth around the edge, and you'll do this to all 4 sides. Okay, once you've sponged all 4 sides, you can take a toweling or a towel, or in this case this is a towel I keep on my desk for doing such things, and rub over the embossed areas, and that will pick up some of the ink. And take in dimensionals. Put those on the back. So taking the covers off of my dimensionals, and we'll stick that down to my cardstock card base. There we go. Okay, so then I've run this Autumn Accents Bigs die through the Big Shot with a crushed curry piece and a Cajun Craze piece. Take those leaves, and I'm just going to give them a little bit of texture, and by crunching them up. If you spritz them with a little bit of water first, it will kind of work a little, you'll be able to get the texture to it a little more quickly, or easily I should say. Okay, there we go. Okay, I've given my leaves a little bit of texture. I'm going to pull in some mini glue dots. I'm just going to first of all attach the two together. I'm going to pull in this focal piece that I have here just for help me with a little bit of placement. I'll end up putting that about there. So we'll put then we'll place this down about here. Go. Let's put dimensionals on. I'm going to put dimensionals on the 3 sides that are not overlapping the leaves, just because the leaves will already give it a little bit of up and I don't want it to stick up higher. Can put a mini glue dot under that last corner just to make sure that sticks down. Okay, now our burlap ribbon comes, burlap trim comes with 2 stitched sides. I did cut off the 1 stitch side so that I could just take off some of the fibers, just like this. So I'm just pulling them off of my burlap. Then I end up with having fibers that I am going to tie into a bow. Go. Let's take a mini glue dot, put those fibers, they have some nice texture to them because they were woven into the burlap. And then I'm going to take a button from the Regals collection, and I took another string of burlap and just thread that through the holes, and then we'll just set that down right there. Of course, I can trim up the ends now of my burlap. And the last step, what I did is I took in some of these candy dots and pulled a couple and just put them in here right next to add a little more interest up to my embellishment area. There you go. That's how you get the lighter colors, the fabulous hardwood background, and doing the burlap trim on the side. If you have any questions about what I've done, don't hesitate to contact me at chris@mystamplady.com. And all of the supplies to make this are available in my online store, which you can find at shopwithmystamplady.com. Thanks for watching.